Well, hi everybody, welcome to the show today. So, I got about 173 things going on, but I need to get one of them done right away. Let's go plant some corn. What? So friends, yes, you might notice, unless you're blind, that I have the 4-row corn planter out. You might be saying to yourself, well geez, Mr. JT, why are you using the 4-row corn planter when one, you've already planted corn, and two, you have an 8-row corn planter now. Why use this? Well guys, missed a spot. I didn't miss a big spot, only 2 rows worth, but you know what guys, it's not a perfect world, sometimes things happen. So what I got to do here today, friends, here's what happened when I was planting corn. So, you know, going up and down, everything's going good. I get out and I check the end bucket because I think they're all filled the same. One, that's wrong, they were not. And two, when that bucket had that much in it, and along with the rest of them, these 2 in the middle somehow ran out, but I can tell you exactly how that happened. So, you know, I'd throw my 8 bags in, and then I had 2 bags left over, so I'd top one, and the rest would go in the 4th bucket from either direction. Well, they were the least full, so they ran out. So now I got about 6 rows of corn that need to be replanted because, well, JT's a fool. And, you know, things happen, so might as well get after that. Guys, the reason I pulled the old 4-row out here is, well, I kind of want to just go right in next to where I planted and cause as little disruption and damage as possible. And that's going to be a lot easier to do with 4 rows as opposed to 8. I know too, a bunch of you are going to comment about how it'd be easier if I loaded the bags in with it lower to the ground. Give me a break, fellas. Come on. Doesn't take much. There. I like that. I like how that feels. Okay, guys. There, I guess I'm as ready to go as I'll ever be. I did think I do have a little 3-point hitch mounted 1 row, which I don't know, guys. 6 to 1, half a dozen the other, which would have been easier if I didn't have 2 rows out. That would have probably been a good way to go, but since I have 2 rows out consistently, I just thought this would be the better way to go. And what a good reason to, you know, turn the chains and whatnot on the 7000, make sure everything is still happy inside before I park it back in the barn until next time I need it. So, I suppose, guys, let's hit it. Guys, I also thought, too, it is nice to use the 165 once in a while. Now that I kind of keep the 1105 right there ready for action, this one doesn't see a whole lot of work, which is fine. I'd love to get this one in the shop and get it restored, but guys, I got a few 10 or 12 things I need to do before I do that. I got kind of a full schedule this summer, and I'm hoping to maybe sell a couple things, maybe buy a couple new things, maybe not sell a couple things and still buy a few new things because, well, I like new toys just as much as anybody does. But I mean, I got enough to work on for right now, so I think that's going to be the next project because I really need to get after that. Wheat season's going to be ready to, well, wheat's going to be ready to combine before I know it. I got 10 new tires for Gus sitting inside the shed there. Well, that's going to be fun. But old Gus has earned himself some new tires, and the ones that are on it, well, they've had it, and I don't feel safe driving it with them anymore. The old 895 is ready to be washed and put away, but I'm still leaving it hooked up just in case my neighbor or my cousin needs a little help getting anything finished off before the end of the season. Guys, I just know if I unhook that thing, I'm going to be busier than the bartender on payday. That's just how it goes. So I'm just going to leave that thing hooked up for about another 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll get to it when we get to it. Just about all done with my new to me pickup here. You know, the one that wouldn't pass inspection in the UK. If you know, you know. Oh, never mind that. This is looking really good. I'm hoping to have this done tonight because, well, I got other stuff to work on. And I got to start cleaning my barn out for a certain daughter of mine's graduation party. That's going to be a job in itself. So friends, like I said, nevertheless, lots and lots to do. Let's go take one thing off the list here. Nothing like the old 165. All right, on we go. Well guys, as you can see, stuff's coming up nice. Even the dandelions are coming up nice. Everything was going really good until it wasn't. And then really good and really good. So on and so forth. Until it wasn't. So I got to zip down and zip back and hope for the best. There. And that's going to be the easiest way to make sure. That way I don't try to run over too much of what's already planted. You know, guys, it's all part of the experience. So here we go. Well there guys, hopefully at the end of the day I didn't kill more than I planted, but it seems to me looking down these rows here, that was a good offset. I think I was out of the way enough to keep everything, well, to give it its best chance. That's all I'm trying to do, is give everything its best chance. Like, what can I say? Mistakes were made this year. We're all human, it happens. Well, I suppose guys, let me get the replanting brigade back home and unhooked and regroup, come up with a new plan. Well guys, we're one day into the future here. Now, let me tell you a little story. So, got my, you saw 5 seconds ago, I finished up my replanting of my corn. I got my rig all set up for my replanting of soybeans because I'm gonna have to, remember if you watched last week, I had one row that didn't come out. So I did use the one row, or I'm going to, for the one row. You might be saying, hey, man, that's a good looking rig to go ahead and should have did that for your corn. Well, yeah, you're probably right. It probably would have been just fine. Downside is I don't have a corn plate for this, and I didn't really want to seed 80,000 seeds in one row. So this, I do have the soybean plate for this. I used to use this on my old soybean planter, and I just rigged it up on the back of here. Now you might also notice the offset. That's simple. That's just so I can still straddle my 30s, stay on, turn the tractor around, hit the other if I have to, or whatever, you know. It works good. I thought about putting it right in the center, but then I thought, well, if that's a 30, then that'll be a 30, and that'll be another 30, and I'll be running over a whole bunch of stuff. Right, Fluffy? What do you say? That's what I thought. So nevertheless, guys, ready to use this. But the problem is it got cold. Again, it's like 50 today. Wind is blowing as usual. The soybeans aren't quite up yet. So I'm just gonna shove this back in the hole here and wait for the weather to warm up, wait for some of those beans to emerge, and continue on with my day. Old truck here's got a little wet sanding done. I'm gonna have to put a little buff on that. Now, sometimes you get a run, and I kind of wanted it to look just about perfect. So I got that clear, all wet sanded out. I just got to run a buffer over it. That'll be good as new, and I'll be able to start driving my new truck. Can't wait. But all those things are not why we're here today, friends. So remember yesterday, or 9 minutes ago, when I said I'm going to leave that Versatile hooked up because as soon as I unhook it, my cousin or someone's going to call. Might need a hand, and might have to go burn up a few acres. Well, last night I went to check on said cousin. He was getting some planting done, and I said, "You going to need me to help out at all?" And he says, "Well, nope, should be all set. Gonna do the last 40 tomorrow. Dad's helping out, no big deal." Well, apparently my uncle said he was tired and didn't want to help out today. So, We're gonna go do some versatiling, then I can unhook it, because that's the last thing I was waiting for. Guys, that's just how things work out, which, like I said, last night I was thinking, well, maybe I'll unhook that. I think everything will be fine, and sure enough, this morning I got the call. So, let's get this thing put away. Let's get that out. I'm gonna try and clean off the back end a little bit and see if I can wrap some towels around them leaking hoses to see which hose is actually leaking. I guess it's worth a shot. I suppose you want to go back in, huh? Oh, geez. Are we a little touchy this morning? Get on in there. Okay, well, let's... Well. We'll see if we can find a spot for this in there. Not much margin for error in here, guys, but that's okay. They make more sheds every day. Kind of getting excited here, guys, to get going on old Allison chains here, too. I pulled it out of here last week, took it for a ride down to the neighbors and back, because I've never actually driven it much more than in the yard. And, well, this tire's still holding up somehow. This tire, she got a spot where the tube's about ready to make its way to the other side, but nevertheless, a couple new tires on this, some paint. This is going to be one nice little tractor. I tell you what, guys, you Alice guys have been holding this back, but that hand clutch is awesome. I really like that thing on this. But never mind that now, guys. We got more work to do. All right. I was hoping I'd get to go versatiling one more time this year. Looks like that's going to be the day. Okay. Big Bertha. Huh. There she goes. Didn't want to start. It was so cold this morning here, guys. I tell ya. Do without all that cold weather. All right, let's see. Get that guy up in the air. Okay. Let's pull this up into the yard. Clear that dump truck. No problem. Well, there. Thought maybe if I set that down, I could go through and pull all these random pieces of binder twine and root and whatever else I've got here. Get all these things off the levelers and whatnot. Go through, hit everything with the grease gun again. Ain't gonna hurt. It's the last time I'm using it this year, probably. And again, guys, I don't know exactly where to start with what's going on here. I mean, again, the 4 hoses I use, there's 3 of them and they're pretty dry, and this one right here is kind of wet, but these ones aren't even being used. They're for the other remotes. If there's a problem up here, it's underneath all that dirt, because, well, I don't know. It ain't leaking up there anymore. I got those all tight. That guy's not leaking there or there. I had Hank over here the other day and I was kind of twisting it back and forth a little bit and he didn't see any stuff coming out. There's no new fluid from when I just fired it up, obviously, to move it here, guys. So as you can see, I'm a little perplexed by what's going on there, but I'll figure it out eventually. Heck, even just for grins, I wonder, maybe I can get a little better look. Open up the old battery box here. No, I mean, these lines are all dry and there's not any puddles or, I mean, it's a little dirty, but it isn't out of the ordinary dirty by any means. I don't know, guys. Boy, that's pretty intense knotting. Huh, how about that? Well, friends, she's all greased up. I cleaned the windows. I cleaned off the top of this thing and tried to dry off those hoses as much as I possibly could to see if it'll give me some type of a clue as to where it's leaking. But I guess for now, guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit it. I mean, nothing more I can do at this point. Maybe when I get there, we'll see if it's gonna give me a little sign as to what's going on where. Let's get this stuff all picked back up. Maybe it'll start leaking right now and I'll know exactly where it is. Nothing. Dry as it was 2 seconds ago. Oh well. I'll get my pins in here, guys, and I'm gonna go work. Almost there. In fact, I can see it now. I sure do love this big old tractor. All right, friends, so this is interesting. I'm dripping from here. So is it this hose that's got a leak in it somewhere? Or is it something else in there? I don't know, but at least I know which hole it's coming out of, so that'll give me some direction anyway from the top. But not gonna worry about that now. Let me lower this baby down and get to work. Guys, I tell you what, this is the kind of farming that'll spoil a guy. I'm just relaxed, letting the tractor do all the work with the finger touch, tilt steering. Now, but in all seriousness, I'm glad I can help out. I do keep hoping that my cousin will just rent me this field too. I think he's got his hands full with what he's got all together. Maybe if I can help out, you know, rent this one from him too. We could all be winners here. But nevertheless, I'll be happy to work it up to work off some of the other rent that I got on the other field. So he'll be able to get this planted tonight now and hopefully beat the rain that's supposed to come in the next day or so. Well, about half done here, guys. A little over half done. Pick you back up in a little bit. Well, guys, that's the end of the road for this. I gotta tell you, I haven't jumped out of the tractor at all because everything's been working. Everything's right where it should be. I don't smell anything that I shouldn't smell. So I feel pretty good about that. I gotta say, the more hours I put on this Versatile, I don't know how I ever got by without it. What an awesome tractor. Well, I suppose, guys, like I said, that's done for this field. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the end row here, and take this rig home and get everything unhooked and see you when I get there. Hell, there. All loaded up. Just gotta throw my pins in. I gotta say, guys, I made a pretty good time. Now, I only had to run over this field once, so I got this 38-acre field worked up in just about 2 hours. That's not bad. It's faster than I'm used to going. See you at the house. let that thing just kind of simmer for a few minutes, you know, cool off. Cool as jets. So friends, I guess I know kind of now where my hose is that's causing me trouble, I think. At least I know what hole it's coming out of, so maybe when I get a spare few minutes, I'll pull that hose, maybe just get a whole nother one, and you know, we'll try again for chisel plow season next year, or this summer after the wheat's done, and see if it leaks there again. Overall, I can't complain. That tractor's just running like a top. I put some of that mechanic in a can, you know, that's supposed to seal all your oil leaks and blah blah, and the engine oil, and it seems like there's a whole lot less of that oil coming out of the front seal right now, so that's good. Not that I'm not going to have to change it still, but I mean, if it buys me a little time, hey, that's a good win. So guys, I get, you know, we've been all over the place today. I went from replanting to repainting to reworking. There's a lot going on today, but I think this is the end of the actual farm season stuff, so now I can get back to projects, so that should be good fun for everybody. Well, at least for me. Well guys, that's gonna do it for me today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Now, we don't farm a lot of acres.